The story of Captain Ibrahim Traoré is one of the most dramatic and emotional moments in Africa's modern history, a story that feels less like politics and more like a movie. Imagine the screen fading in, the sound of drums beating in the distance, the camera sweeping over the dusty roads of Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso. Crowds are chanting, flags are waving, voices echo with the name of one man. And then, silence. A deadly silence that comes when rumors spread that the leader everyone depends on may have been poisoned. The music slows, whispers fill the screen, and the question burns in everyone's mind. Is he alive, or has he been silenced forever? Cut to black. The words appear slowly on the screen. The moment Ibrahim Traoré revealed the truth after being poisoned. To understand why this moment shook the world, the film takes us back. The camera shows the childhood streets of Burkina Faso. Children playing in dust, women carrying baskets. The ordinary life of a nation that has known more struggle than peace. A narrator's voice would not be needed because the images tell the story. Then, the screen fills with military scenes, young soldiers training, weapons clashing. The rise of Captain Ibrahim Traoré. He is not a politician by birth. He is a soldier, a fighter, a man who believed that his country deserved better. In September 2022, the camera captures gunfire and confusion as he leads the coup against Paul-Henri Damiba. The world calls it instability, but the people call it salvation. Now the music shifts. The screen shows images of crowds raising his portrait, children wearing t-shirts with his face, old women blessing him in markets. His speeches flash across the screen with subtitles. We must fight for our sovereignty. We must control our resources. Africa must stand on its own feet. The camera zooms in on the eyes of young people listening, their faces lit with hope. For the first time in decades, they believe. But then the tension rises. The music grows darker. Shadows appear on screen. Images of foreign powers, meetings behind closed doors, elites whispering, maps of Africa marked with red arrows of influence. The camera shows Traoré cutting ties with France, demanding foreign troops leave, speaking boldly about Burkina Faso's independence. His popularity soars, but so does the danger. When the screen fades to black again, a line of text appears. The higher a leader rises, the more enemies wait in the shadows. And then it happens. The sound design goes silent. Only the faint echo of a heartbeat. A glass of water is placed on a table. A meal is served. Er's hands move carefully. The audience feels the suspense. Poison, the oldest political weapon. The silent killer that leaves no sound. Suddenly, whispers ripple across the country. The screen fills with social media posts, tweets, Facebook messages, crowds in markets, speaking in panic. Some say he is dead. Others claim he is gravely ill. The heartbeat sound grows louder, louder, and then stops. The screen cuts to black again. The camera opens on the tense faces of citizens waiting in front of government buildings. Journalists look desperate. Families pray. The silence is unbearable. Days pass and no clear word comes. But then, suddenly, the silence is broken. The sound of footsteps echoes in a hallway. A door opens. The crowd gasps. Ibrahim Traoré appears, The camera zooms in on him as he walks to the podium. His face shows the signs of exhaustion, but his eyes burn with fire. The music swells softly. The crowd roars, then goes completely silent. The camera pans across faces of men and women, waiting to hear his words. And then, with a voice steady but heavy with truth, he says the unthinkable. Yes, there has been an attempt to poison me. The crowd erupts. The screen splits in two, showing the tears of a woman in the crowd and the clenched fists of young men shouting in rage. The music explodes into drums and chants. The revelation shakes the ground. He is not just speaking as a president now. He is speaking as a man who walked through death and lived to tell it. His enemies wanted silence, but instead he has given his people the truth. The camera cuts to historical flashbacks, black and white photos of Patrice Lumumba, the face of Thomas Sankara, the rise and fall of leaders who dared to dream. The narrator's words appear on the screen as text. Africa's history is written in blood. But sometimes, a survivor lives to tell the story. Traoré is now one of those survivors. His poisoning attempt becomes more than an attack on one man. It becomes an attack on the hope of a nation. And by revealing it, he transforms the attack into strength. The camera follows the reaction across Burkina Faso. Villagers beat drums, young men wave flags, children chant his name in unison. Social media explodes with hashtags and solidarity. Across Africa, his image appears on television screens, in WhatsApp statuses, in the songs of street musicians. In Mali and Niger, crowds also celebrate, seeing him as their brother in the fight for sovereignty. The music grows triumphant, as if his survival is not just personal but continental. But the documentary does not shy away from the danger. The camera shows shadows again. Silhouettes of faceless men in suits, briefcases closing, foreign embassies watching closely. Who was behind the poisoning? Was it internal rivals, powerful elites, or foreign hands that felt threatened by his policies? The screen flashes with questions but no answers. The suspense remains. Traoré himself does not point fingers, but his message is clear. The enemies of Africa are many, and they will stop at nothing. The film now follows his next steps. Every time he appears in public, the camera lingers on the glass of water beside him. The plate of food untouched for a moment, the suspicious glances around the room. The tension never leaves, because the audience knows another attempt could always come. But instead of showing fear, Traoré becomes bolder. The music swells as his speeches grow louder, more fiery. He calls for West African unity, for a federation with Mali and Niger. The crowd shots grow larger, the chants grow stronger. What was meant to silence him has only amplified his voice. The documentary then pauses, zooming slowly on his face as his words are replayed in slow motion. They tried to kill me, but I am here. This is not about me. It is about Burkina Faso. It is about Africa. The camera pans to the faces of his people, eyes filled with pride, and then back to his own steady gaze. The silence that follows his words is heavy, the kind of silence that feels like history being made. The final act of the documentary brings everything together. The music builds with intensity as images flash across the screen. Foreign headlines debating his survival. African youth painting murals of his face, mothers naming their children after him, soldiers saluting with sharper discipline. His story has now become larger than life. He is not just a leader. He is a symbol of resistance, of truth, of courage in the face of death. The film ends with a wide shot of a massive crowd in Ouagadougou at sunset, chanting his name. The camera slowly rises above the crowd, showing the endless sea of people united under one banner. Then the shot cuts back to Traoré, standing alone, his back straight, his eyes fixed on the horizon. The music fades, replaced by a single heartbeat sound, steady, unbroken. And then the final words appear on screen. This was the moment Ibrahim Traoré revealed the truth after being poisoned. A moment that turned fear into fire, weakness into strength, and a man into a legend. Fade to black.